Happy VA Wednesday. So today we're going to be talking about VA loan limits in 2025 and how it impacts you as a veteran home buyer. Okay, if you're new to the channel, if you're not, say it with me. I'm a lender licensed in 48 states. I'm currently ranked the #1 VA loan officer in America. I love talking about VA. So I am going to give you the real deal in this video and not some of the nonsense that I've seen people who don't know what they're talking about saying online. Okay, first of all, very important. If you have your full entitlement, what that means is you don't have another house right now with a VA loan on it, or you didn't have a foreclosure or short sale that ate a portion of your entitlement. If you have your full entitlement, there is no loan limit. There's no loan limit. I can't stress this enough. I bring it up because once upon a time there was, but this changed in 2020. There's a lot of lenders that do not understand this has changed. Yes, I know it is almost 5 years later now. No, they still don't realize it. And that impacts you because the last thing you want to do is put down money when you don't need to because your lender doesn't know the guideline. So yes, if you have full entitlement, VA does not have a loan limit. So if you want to buy a $2.5 million, $3 million house, zero down, and you qualify, let's do it. Let's go. I'm thinking Los Angeles, Virginia, New York, New Jersey. I mean, look, housing's expensive. These numbers, you know, once upon a time, if I said $1 million, $1.5 million, people would go, now they're like, oh, found a deal. It's crazy, it's crazy. So remember, if you have your full entitlement, then no loan limit, okay? Now, next, and very important, partial entitlement. This is where the loan limits come into play. This is the only area the loan limits come into play, is if you have partial entitlement. So sometimes we'll see maybe someone had a short sale or a foreclosure and a little bit of their entitlement is still with that property. So in that case, we're gonna have to do we call it a max mortgage worksheet, where we work out how much entitlement they have left. Okay, same thing, like I've got clients that own 2, 3, 4 houses with VA loans, and we're calculating, okay, do they have more entitlement? And you may be like, wow, how could someone have entitlement with 3 houses? Guys, they may have gotten them for $100,000, $200,000. Like some of them may have been 5 years ago. And we do see that. And there's so much opportunity. Like when you actually really start learning how and what you can do with a VA loan, it's amazing, you know? And so we'll have groups of clients where they all talk to each other and they're just building up all these different properties. It's amazing. Now, remember, you have to live in the house for at least a year, okay? So let's say that you live in this house and you're like, gosh, I've always wanted to move. Maybe you're retired, right? I've always wanted to move to Texas, Jen. Okay, cool. What are you gonna do with this house here? You're gonna keep it, turn it into a rental? Great. Let's do a max mortgage worksheet. We're gonna look at the new limit, okay, and calculate, are you gonna need a down payment for that next house? Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. It depends on the calculation. Now here's something very important. If you have your entitlement currently tied up, the lender you're working with needs to do this calculation during the pre-approval process, okay? If you get a letter and no one has talked to you about this, right? And I would bring it up because I'm thinking about it, like would my team go into debt? They would do it. Like there's no way they would, people, it would not be pretty. Like no way, we would do it in a heartbeat because like that's one of my nightmares is someone not doing that. But you want to make sure they did it because a lot of lenders don't know that you have to do it or they don't know how to do it. And the other thing is it's specific to the county you're buying in. That's right. Now, there's certain parts of the country where it doesn't matter because all the counties have similar loan limits. However, if I think about California, for example, the loan limit in Los Angeles is much higher than in Riverside, but they're right by each other. You know, the loan limit in Santa Rosa is higher than the loan limit in Mendocino. They're right by each other, you know, so there is some of that to it. So if you're looking in multiple areas, you want to make sure you're telling your loan officer because it will switch potentially whether or not you have to bring in a down payment and how much eligibility you have, okay? Really, really important. And look, call us. Like, we want to be your lender. There's a reason I do 8 billion videos. I want to educate you, but yeah, I would love you to work with me and my team. I'm licensed in 48 states, but this is what we do all day. So call us, ask questions. You know, if you have your COE, we can calculate out your max mortgage eligibility. We're going to need the county you want to buy in as well, but we're happy to do that. Phone number, 786-933-2077. You can call, you can text, you can book a time on the calendar. Literally, I have 2 amazing women who work full-time, licensed loan officers, just to answer your questions. Seriously, just to answer your questions. So make sure you take advantage of it. But the bottom line is this, loan limits went up. Okay, 2024, the baseline was 764 and some change. Now we're at 805 and some change. Depending on where you are in the country, it could be as high as 1.2 or 1.1. So if you have partial eligibility, or if you're like, well, I already have one VA loan, I bet I can't do it again, just call us. Let's check first, because sometimes people assume they can't do another VA. They do a conventional 5% down. And look, maybe with VA, you don't have enough eligibility to do 0, but maybe you only have to put 3% or 4%. The difference between VA and conventional with a lower down payment is there's no mortgage insurance. So you always want to make sure you're exhausting your VA option first. Okay, so look, I hope this video was helpful. And then if you're working with another lender, please make sure they're doing this calculation up front. Even if you're like, Jen, all they do is VA loans. I recently had a real estate agent send a client to me because 2 weeks before closing, the lender told them they had to bring in $30,000. Yeah, the buyers had already accepted job offers in the area. Like, it was a big mess up, and it never should have happened, because this was a calculation that could have been done day one, okay? So I hope this video was helpful. Questions, comments, as always, please, please, please reach out. We are here to support you. Beyond that, there's no big changes yet with VA for 2025. So business as usual, make sure you use your benefit. And sorry, I need to start talking about this. I did do a full free VA course. It's like everything, tip to toe, bite-sized videos, nostressva.com. Check it out if you want to learn more about your VA benefit. It really is an amazing benefit. Thanks for watching.